So this is Make My Enclosure Not Suck Pixie Frog Edition. This is Pickles, and while we make his enclosure, let's feed him. So the first step is removing everything. So Pixie frogs in the wild typically live in a more wet environment, so the goal is to make this side a dry area and this side a completely water area, so that way he can get the amount of moisture he needs and be warm at the same time. In Africa, pixie frogs live in temporary floodplains, so having a large, shallow body of water is very important for them. This helps keep the humidity at around 60 to 80%. What also helps is keeping their temperature at about 76 to 82 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm going to do this but with a heat mat plugged into a thermostat, so that way it stays between those temperatures. Okay, so now we got to make the land area, which I'm going to put all the rocks down here, place this on top of it and around it, and then pinch this up over here, and then hopefully that'll carry all the rocks here, so that way I can put the dirt on top of it, so the water can actually still soak in through the dirt, so the plants can actually get water too. In order to keep the dirt from washing into the water, what I would do is add a bunch of rocks on the side of the dirt, so that way the dirt is stuck on one side of the enclosure and can't leak into the water as much. This setup is going to require a lot of water changes. This is because Pickles is going to be pooping in the water. He's going to be climbing in and out of the land, pushing dirt into the water. So just keep that in mind when you're doing this. I would recommend a lot of plants to help keep up with filtration. Okay, now that we got the drainage layer and the soil, it's time to add a hardscape in there, so that way he has something to get onto. Also, this is here so that way he can actually bury, because pixie frogs love to dig too. So it's important to have both. The goal with the hardscape isn't really to add places for Pickles to climb or to be able to hide. It's really just there so that way the tank can look better. Most of the hiding that will be here is from all the plants that'll be floating in the water and all the plants that'll be on the land side too. Okay, now it is time to fill this thing up with water, add the plant, and then I'm probably going to go out there and buy some like floating plants, so that way there can be stuff on top and you can actually have more hiding spots around here. Plants are in. I'm most likely going to go buy a floater plant, so that way it actually looks covered through here. But now it's time to set up the lighting. This is what it looks like with just a regular white light bulb. Also, the dome is too big. That's why the light's being shown over everywhere. So this is duckweed. It is probably the most important part of the build. This is going to give Pickles a place to hide while he's swimming in the water. This will also help with filtration. With this much duckweed, it will help get rid of all the ammonia in the water. I will still have to do water changes, but this means he won't be swimming in his own pee. Out with the old and in with the new. Look at how much better this is. So let's go ahead and put Pickles in. Okay, here we go, right onto the land side, so that way he can choose if he wants to be in the water or not. And as you can see, the first thing he does is he goes straight into the water. This is because this is where he's going to feel the most amount of safety, all those plants being able to go on top of him and completely cover him. So if I could do the skin, what I would add is a layer of rocks to go from here to there, so that way all the soil up here doesn't mush down. When I have to do a water change for this, I'll basically just get a siphon, suck it all out, and then put some rocks over there and put the dirt back and then fill it back up. Thank you for watching. The next cage that we're going to be upgrading is my ball python Wrigley's.